Who was the best chipper you ever saw?
Probably Cam Smith. He's just got an unbelievable touch around the green.
It's going fast and furious at the top of the leaderboard. Action like this at the first. Billy Horschel with a birdie. The Memorial Tournament. The dream, the vision of the great champion, Jack Nicklaus. One of the most lush and gorgeous golf courses in the world.
It's great to be back at Memorial. It's one of the guys' favorite events on tour.
It's definitely a place that I put a little emphasis on at the beginning of the year, that a win here would mean just a little more to me. The field is always world class, so wins here are big ones.
What has happened over the past year, the grass has been able to grow a little bit better. It's healthy, greens are super firm, and when you have firm greens, that means guys have to be playing really well.
The best returned to Jack's place, one with renewed motivation, another returning from injury, with an elevated event on the line.
These big player-hosted invitationals are, they're a pretty big deal. I've been lucky enough to win at Arnold's place at Bay Hill, and I'd obviously love to win at Jack's place too. Muirfield and I have had a bit of a complicated relationship. The last few years, I've sort of maybe struggled with a strategy of how to play it.
All strive to add a coveted handshake to their resume.
And Jack is coming down the hill to applaud him in person.
I don't know how I started making a tradition out of it. I just got myself down on the 18th green and made sure that I was there when the winner was going to finish, and it's worked that way for, gosh, I don't know, 40 years, and I've enjoyed it.
It'd be pretty cool. You see all the winners kind of come off the green, get to shake Jack Nicklaus' hand. I feel like that's very special.
When you watch golf on TV growing up, it's something you always dream of doing, and it was really cool to do in person.
You like that fairway over to the right, huh?
Whether the customary shake, a fist bump, or a hug, greeting Jack Nicklaus on the 18th green is every player's dream come Sunday.
I think you go with the traditional handshake, and that's what I feel like a lot of players have done in the past.
Especially with, Mr. Nicklaus, I think a handshake would be appropriate, but it's like dancing. He'll take the lead and I'll just follow.
It wasn't planned, it just happened. And then it evolved into, Jim Nance says to me, he says, Jack, it's about time you got down to the 18th green. I said, I'm on my way, Jimmy.
With the thrills of victory for one, comes the disappointment and defeat for the rest.
You didn't quite get it done, sorry.
No, it's okay. It wasn't the handshake I was really hoping for that day.
Yeah, 64th trigger.
Next year I'm going to get it. It's more, better luck next year. And he being the ultimate competitor, it's winning or nothing, and he or certainly gave me the feeling that I shouldn't be satisfied with finishing second.
I hope that it signifies something to the champion. And what it signified to me was that I had the ability to be in a position to be able to watch the winner finish the golf tournament and be able to congratulate him properly on a week well done.
Anytime you have someone like Jack Nicklaus and his name associated with the tournament, you want to win it. It's weird, there's only been a few places where I've actually stepped foot on property before I've seen the golf course and felt something special about it. And I remember, during COVID, we came here, we had back-to-back weeks, we had the Workday event, and then we had Memorial after. And before I had even stepped foot on the golf course, pretty much when I parked my car and walked up to the clubhouse, I just knew this place was special. And I knew something about it that I was gonna like.
Could it be?
And straight back in the winner's circle, Collin Morikawa.
I like the way he plays, and he's very controlled and very disciplined about how he plays. Pretty much the way I played, I relied on my shot making.
Everyone says, Jack hits a cut, I hit a cut, and it should fit your eye, but that's not just it. It's just more about the feeling you get when you step here on the golf course at Muirfield Village.
Collin Morikawa nearly returned to the winner's circle at Jack's Place 1 year ago, taking on Patrick Cantlay in a playoff.
I knew it was going to be a battle just because Collin's such a competitor and a great player.
You know, I gave it my all and just came up a shot short. It's a place I feel comfortable in and hopefully, you know, continue to play really well.
Collin is, his future's in front of him. He's going to win a lot more.
And with 2 Workday sponsored titles already to his name, he hopes to add another this week.
For me to win those first 2 Workday events, seeing Workday as a sponsor, hopefully we can somehow bring back some really good golf.
And Morikawa put his own spin on Muirfield's famous Buckeye milkshake on Wednesday.
When I first came here for Memorial, it was like everyone talked about it. So it was probably about a month in advance when you start thinking about what kind of new combinations you can make. What up, Michael?
How are you doing?
Good.
Oh, I'm gonna teach you how to make milkshakes.
Sweet.
You ready? There you go.
All right, 3 scoops.
I think you're the first player to make their own milkshake.
All right, Colin's in the lead. More ice cream. So what's in a Buckeye? Like, for people that don't know.
Peanut butter and chocolate sauce.
That's it.
And that's all you need.
How many milkshakes do you think you average a day?
Probably about 400.
All right, I'm gonna add a little Oreo in mine. Switch it up.
Smart, man.
I'm actually excited about this one. Now you're gonna have to add a lot of stuff in mine.
Just stick it up and it'll catch on this lip and start.
Yeah,
And then go side to side.
Okay.
Oh, you're not doing too bad. For your first milkshake, it's promising.
I mean, it looks a little chunky, but try and guess which one's mine and which one is his. I think we could figure that out. What's the proper pour? Because I actually think I got the right amount.
Yeah, yours is gonna be a little sticky, so stir it around. Perfect.
I saw a lot of chunks on the bottom line. There you go. Collin special. Cheers.
Cheers.
With an overnight rain, Morikawa and the morning wave see a softening up of the previously firm greens, and Will Zalatoris takes advantage.
Okay, Will, get it started. The stroke looks so good from 15 feet.
I'm shocked at how much this place has softened up with the little rain that we've had, because Monday, Tuesday was probably one of the firmer practice rounds I think I've had in my short stint out here.
The PGA Championship runner-up cards 5 birdies on his opening 9.
Got a boy, Willie Zalatoris. Love to see him make putts.
While his former Wake Forest teammate takes the early lead at 5 under.
Jack Young. Woo!
Making the turn with 3 birdies and an eagle.
He's 12th in the FedEx Cup points. He's the highest without a victory. It's just a matter of time for Cameron Young.
I've watched on TV for years, and to get to, play the golf course is amazing. It's a special place.
Reigning Players Champion Cameron Smith makes it look easy with a bogey-free 3 under opening 9.
Hey kids, you got to practice it. It's not luck.
It's just good to see a few putts going in. I think this is about as easy as this place is going to get. I think it's going to be a lot of stressful golf and a lot of grinding over the weekend.
Defending champion Patrick Cantlay opens with an even round, 1 stroke behind Morikawa, while the 2 Camerons take a share of the lead with afternoon tee time set to begin.
Here we are in 1976 in the first Memorial Tournament.
Roger Maltby, the first Memorial champion.
I've had a lot of accomplishments in the game of golf. I don't think there's any greater than this one.
Another Watson putt finds the dead center of the hole in the 1979 Memorial Tournament. Watson wins a victory that most agree brings him a large step nearer to the golfers that the Memorial Tournament seeks to honor.
You know, I'll never be able to repay the game of golf for what it has given to me. We had 3 objectives in mind in holding the first Memorial Tournament.
50 years ago, Jack Nicklaus planted a seed on what would become the site of his beloved Memorial Tournament.
First was to further the game of golf, if at all possible, by building a good golf course, not only for the golfer, but for the spectator.
A new branch blossoms this year in the form of a new sponsor, stemming from a strong base rooted in Ohio.
Secondly, trying to bring golf back to my hometown, Columbus, Ohio, where I grew up, a town that has given me so much.
While its limbs extend to many off the course, Jack's ever-growing canopy continues to embrace the legends of the game.
And third is to salute the great golfers of the past, the people who have made the game what it is today.
At Muirfield, a park has been set aside as a memorial to tournament honorees. The Memorial Park was a stopping place for many spectators at the first tournament.
This is certainly something that I haven't seen, but I've heard about it, but this is absolutely gorgeous. It's an ode to the game. The people I see on here, I knew lots of them. I'm friends with them. Jack, obviously, that's the reason I'm here. There's no doubt about that. He always had time to talk to me, to bounce questions off of him, but it was somebody that you want to emulate.
Crenshaw is a great amateur player, a great college player. He won 2 Masters. He's had a great career past the game of golf, and so we're honored to be able to honor Ben Crenshaw this year.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Is this your first time seeing it?
It is. It is. It's just hard to believe. I can't believe this. I'm lucky. I mean, with all the people that we've seen, it means so much to me. It's just amazing to me. He need a haircut. But I'm kind of looking like, why did I hit this ball in the right rough?
On Wednesday, the Memorial Tournament added 2 names to its growing list of honorees.
Ladies and gentlemen, the founder and host of the Memorial Tournament, Jack Nicklaus. Charlie Sifford represents a tremendous honoree for the 2022 Memorial Tournament. Important we celebrate that would have been Charlie's 100th birthday tomorrow. We pay tribute to his legacy and honor the contributions he made to the game of golf and society.
While he is best known for his fearsome pursuit of the game he loved, my father was also a role model to me, my mentor, my #1 hero, who taught me and the world of the power of dreams.
Charlie Sifford changed the face of the game, breaking through golf's color barrier in 1961.
I want to challenge the game of golf. I had to ask them to take the clause out of the Constitution that stated that only Caucasians become members of the Professional Golf Association. I asked Jackie Robinson about it, and he said to me, "Are you a quitter?" So I said, "No, I'm not a quitter." So he said, "You're gonna run into some very, very tough obstacles. And I don't know if you can handle it or not, but you say you can, so take a shot at it." So I took a shot at it.
Pressing on in the face of indescribable challenges and threats, Sifford forged his own path.
I had to be an awfully strong man to be successful. Nobody would have gone through what I went through to be a professional golfer. It was a tough life, but I enjoyed it.
Sifford won twice on the PGA Tour. The first coming at the 1967 Greater Hartford Open.
Got to 18. Had to get this ball up and down to shoot 64 to win the tournament. I knocked it out about 3 feet from the hole and make the putt. And man, you must have thought I was on par, but I just really loved it. I fought the battle because I wanted to play golf. I promised Jackie Robinson that I was going to do it. So I made up my mind I was going to do it.
His determination and courage earned him induction into the World Golf Hall of Fame in 2004 and the Presidential Medal of Freedom 10 years later.
Made me feel as though I was accepted. I must have done something right.
The way he played, the way he got along, the way he handled himself, he was a good man. And we're delighted to be able to honor him, and it's on his 100th birthday.
It's a great honor, this award being given by Jack and Barbara. It would have made him really feel proud. Shows that his perseverance and hard work paid off. I'm proud of what he did and what he accomplished. The only thing that's missing is him. I wish he could have been here to see this.
Sifford is honored on Thursday with a commemorative flag on the second hole. Bryson DeChambeau kicks off the afternoon wave, returning to competition for the first time since the Masters.
All right, guys, back in action here at the Memorial. Glad to be back. It's been 8 weeks. It's been a while. We have my bag, obviously the King Tour MIM Technology irons. They are one length. I have the Jumbo Max grips. Now, if you guys can see this is actually what's allowed me to still play golf at this early of a stage because they are bigger and it's greater surface area, allows me to grip the club without sharp input like a small grip would. 5 wood's the same. This is an old one. I've hit this thing a lot. A little high on the face every once in a while, but I love it. And then we have the bad boy, which is the King LTDX. 5 degrees of loft, yes, and that's in the lowest setting, so it is a 5-degree lofted head. And the face is a little thicker and bigger than previous year's model. Happy to certainly be back out here.
The 2018 champion struggles in his return, finishing the day 4 over par.
I felt my hand a little bit out there. Honestly, I'm happy to be back out here. It was a bit sad, obviously, that it didn't play the way I wanted to.
Nor does his playing competitor, Jon Rahm.
Oh my goodness. I did not expect that.
The 2020 champion cards an even par, while Davis Riley heats up in search of his first victory.
A chance for Davis Riley to join that impressive list at -5 and pop that one in. And he continues to impress.
I knew I was playing well, and I just tried to stay patient and knew that the opportunities would come, and then when they came, I capitalized.
With 4 birdies and an eagle on the back 9, Riley takes a share of the lead. Rory McIlroy salvages his round after a bogey start to get to 2 under par.
Good birdie. Birdie's 3 of the last 4.
Denny McCarthy takes a share of 7th with a 4 under 68, as he and the rest of the field chase the 6 tied at the top heading into Friday.
The winner of the 82 Memorial, Raymond Floyd.
Nicklaus trying to make this his 70th tour victory.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations go to Hale Irwin, his 2nd Memorial Championship.
Curtis Strange for birdie.
Wins here at the Memorial.
Looking to join Jack Nicklaus and Hale Irwin as a 2-time winner is 2020 Memorial champion Jon Rahm.
He's just got such a well-rounded game and a very scary guy to compete with on a Sunday, as he knows how to get it done.
Jon Rahm, new #1 in the world.
Mr. John.
Mr. Nicklaus.
Happy for you and many more for you.
Just trying to be like you.
#1.
Thank you.
Okay.
4 years after receiving the Jack Nicklaus Award for a stellar college career, Rahm reached the top spot in the official world golf rankings in the presence of the Golden Bear.
The golf course setup brings out the best and the most patient. I've never been characterized as the most patient player out there, but I've learned from my mistakes.
You gotta learn to be patient.
I work extremely hard every single day to make sure I can hit the best shot I can at each point, and when I miss, I'm angry because it matters.
There's a difference between finishing 10th and 9th, and there's a difference to me between finishing 31st and 30th. And that's how I play. And that's probably why I've been very consistent over my career. When I'm out on the course, I'm in that competitive aspect, right? When I'm competing, no great athlete who's a competitor is ever been a nice guy on the court. I mean, Jordan, never. Ali, never. You're not supposed to be a nice guy. You're there to win. It's a true honor to be able to do it here at your house, Mr. Nicklaus. Nothing close to what you've done.
Oh, you got a lot of years, my friend. A lot of years, my friend.
At my age, you already had a U.S. Open.
Rahm's own U.S. Open victory was on the horizon, but not before an emotional setback in his title defense at the Memorial.
Just a brilliant, dominating performance by Jon Rahm.
If you're involved in the golfing world, you knew that he dealt with that lead at Memorial that got shattered because of COVID.
Tying the 54-hole scoring record. Notified as he's walking up the slope to sign his card that he had tested positive for COVID, which would mean an automatic withdrawal.
Not being able to finish off Memorial, who knows what could have happened, but the guy had a 6-shot lead, and I'd feel pretty confident if I had a 6-shot lead.
There's no way around it. The Memorial was a tough break for him.
He most likely goes on to win that golf tournament, but he didn't let that temper his mojo.
Pretty special to watch him win the US Open.
It was a very sweet moment in that sense, you know, to bounce back from the positive at Memorial and not do much a week before, but just be positive and think that I could get it done and then go out there and do it. I was really proud of how I handled things, and as unfortunate as the moment in Memorial was, I feel like it was what needed to happen for a lot of people to see the real Jon, the person, not the golfer, which there's a difference a lot of times, and in my case it's a big difference. I'm a very peaceful person, very loving, and you know, somebody who feels his emotions to the fullest, whether it's happy or not happy, and this is how I choose to live my life, and I guess that's how I am.
Starting Friday morning, 5 shots off the lead, Rahm continues to struggle off the tee.
Oh, this is headed way right.
I'm not fully comfortable in my swing off the tee, not comfortable at all, and you're gonna pay the consequences out here.
Finding the fairway just 7 times, Rahm is still able to scramble to a 2 under 70. Meanwhile, 18-hole co-leader Davis Riley is able to keep himself in contention despite struggling as well.
To come out of the day at 1 under, I feel like it's pretty successful. I hit a lot of high-quality shots, but I hit a lot of shots at the same time. I was having to, you know, scramble and get out of trouble.
As Rahm and Riley fight their way through the morning, Rory McIlroy surges.
Not many in the field have that kind of firepower.
Good day for Rory McIlroy, 3 under 69, paired with yesterday's 2 under 70.
2 solid rounds of golf. We're right in contention going into the weekend, depending on what the guys do this afternoon. Yeah, happy with how everything's sort of going.
Starting the day 1 shot off the lead, Denny McCarthy rolls his way to the top of the leaderboard.
I've just been doing everything very solid, and I feel really comfortable with the putter. These greens are so good. You just got to get them started online, and they've got a pretty darn good chance to go in.
With 5 birdies on his card, a 3 under 69 gives McCarthy a 1-shot lead over Riley, while McIlroy sits at 5 under with a group of first-round leaders ready to get their Friday started.
One of the best bunker players on the tour.
Paul Azinger wins the Memorial. What a win! Tom Watson finishes with a birdie at the 18.
Vijay Singh wins the 1997 Memorial Tournament.
He's going to have a hard time making 5.
How about a 4? How about a 4?
Can you believe that?
I've seen it all today. This is unbelievable.
You never know what anything's going to become.
One of my goals is to try to put something back into the game. It's been an awful good game to me.
All you do with anything is do the best you can, prepare yourself properly, put your best foot forward, and let time judge what is happening.
A young course destined for greatness.
Jack Nicklaus's vision of Muirfield Village began when he purchased the land in 1966, but obstacles delayed construction of the course until 1972.
Among the heartaches we endured was 2 50-year floods in the first year of construction alone. But we endured, and in the end, I think we created something special. The Memorial Tournament has just grown very, I shouldn't say quietly, because it hasn't been quietly. It's done very well all through the years, it's right from day one.
Well, we've just finished the first Memorial Tournament. There are going to be some changes as time goes on. That's how you make it better. We hope to make it better. 1977 was our second year of the tournament. I was still pretty much running all the facets of the tournament.
The crowds are rooting for Jack, who is 2 ahead with 4 holes to play and not about to be caught.
I got myself in position and won the golf tournament. It was something obviously I wanted to do, but I never dreamed that I would be able to do that, doing all the other stuff that I was doing.
And what a remarkable achievement it is to win your first professional tournament in your hometown on your own golf course.
I think that's one of my greatest accomplishments in the game of golf. To win it again in '84 was just as special. I think that we've come a long way in 10 years, but I think we'll go a lot further in the next 10. Hello, I'm Jack Nicklaus. We have a fine field. The course is in great shape. I hope you enjoy the show. We hope you enjoy the show. So please sit back and enjoy the show.
Now 5 decades since Nicklaus broke ground on his masterpiece, the Memorial Tournament has evolved into a premier stop on tour.
The evolution of the golf course and how it's kept up with the times. The tournament's grown, the purse has grown, the quality of the field has always been good from day one. I've always felt that when I went to a tournament, if I could take care of the players and keep them happy, then I've done 90% of it. It is my hope that Muirfield Village will forever stand as a representation of my love and respect for the game. Through the hard work of a lot of people, I think we continue to add chapters to a success story.
The latest chapter begins this week with Workday's commitment as title sponsor for the next decade.
We're just delighted to have Workday there. Anil is all in on golf. They're also involved with the Eat, Learn, and Play with Steph Curry. He's obviously a little busy this week, but he also has his mind on raising money for kids, too.
It's absolutely such an honor to be able to be one of the beneficiaries alongside Nationwide Children's Hospital, and it's been so lovely here so far in Columbus and city of Dublin, and we're just grateful to be a part of it. Seeing all of the kids' faces together and seeing them enjoying meeting some of the pros today, getting autographs, and just the impact that that's going to have on them, you know, going forward, I think has been really special.
The Nicklaus family also welcomed 5-time PGA Tour winner Nick Watney to Team Play Yellow.
I'm truly honored. You know, Jack's been somebody that I've looked up to for as long as I've played golf, so I'm truly honored to be a part of the team.
That's a very tough shot.
Brilliantly played. Oh! For the beautiful round of golf. Turned in by Jim Furyk.
Ernie downhill for a birdie. Got a chance. Got a chance.
His 14th win on the tour, and one he has long sought. The trophy will belong once again to Kenny Perry. He joins Tiger with the 3 wins.
Oh, a little one-handed shot. It's looking good. It's in the hole.
Tiger Woods is the champion again.
Earlier in the week, the Manning brothers, Peyton and Eli, brought their championship-winning ways to Muirfield Village.
Ooh, got to get rid of that.
Yeah, you think?
Remember in New Orleans, remember?
Every time I play in a Pro-Am, I get it.
I told him, I said, you don't need to play, you need to leave. And he went out, didn't you make like 5 birdies?
Yeah.
Which made no sense. Got a lesson the other day, which is always the kiss of death.
All right, figure it out.
Hey, Zane. Peyton Manning. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man.
Hey, Patrick, Eli Manning. Good to see you, pal. How you been?
Can I grab you two guys for some pictures with the kids?
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right.
All right, Neil. Thank you. Good to see you, pal.
Thank you. Are we down there?
Yeah, it's plenty hard enough from there, as you know.
Yeah, believe me.
They're not fast, it's firm hitting. They're gonna bounce.
Can I get a 6-iron over this? Came out good.
Oh.
Monday night broadcast.
Hey, thanks. Yeah.
It was great stuff.
Eli thought they were joking. He's like, wait a minute. I know I went to Ole Miss, but you want to pay me to watch football with my brother from my house?
When I retired, I had no interest in being in broadcasting, but when they said you could watch football and make fun of your brother.
Yes. That sounds like it.
Pretty good gig. He's got me dialed in.
I just do this one. I used to play in Charlotte and Quail. Played with Luke Donald last year. Okay. Eli played too. He played with Chappell, so we played together.
Who's better at golf, you or Eli?
I'm a 6. Eli's probably a 9.
Going this way, Ziggy.
All right.
All right, you can't say I didn't do anything today, boys. Got that out of the way.
Give it down here, boys.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're in a picture. We get everybody? Here, hop in.
You mean to do it on my phone, or you got your own? Okay, good.
All right, thank you guys.
I'll come up.
I'll come up real quick.
Let's get one of the fairway guys. Fairway's more fun than that rough.
Oh, no.
All right. Good ball there.
Driver good, iron bad.
I do. I have 11-year-old boy-girl twins.
Okay.
So she's typical girl's boy. She's sprouted up. I think he'll catch her.
I bought skates, but I've not been on them yet. I'm watching like my 3-year-old. It's like if he can do it, I could do it. But his fall is a lot shorter than mine.
Thanks. Good 3.
You grew up there? I grew up in New Orleans, yeah. That's people asking, what's your favorite stadium? Like, you know, ones I've won more games in than lost. Yeah, I love Lambeau Field, yeah.
Hey, enjoyed it very much, man. Appreciate it. Best of luck.
Mike, good being with you, pal. That was fun.
Beautiful. Best of luck, man.
Eli's Pro-Am partner, Patrick Cantlay, seeks his 3rd win at Jack's Place in 4 years.
Patrick Cantlay is the winner for the 2nd time at Memorial.
As he's formed a special bond with the tournament host.
I've definitely picked his brain many times over the years, and he's always been gracious with his wisdom. He really has helped me along the way ever since I won the Nicklaus Award in 2011 for College Player of the Year.
Patrick came to me 3 or 4 years ago. He said, Jack, I'd like to learn how to play Muirfield. Can you help me and teach me how to play it? I gave him the tools of what he needed to do to be able to play that golf course.
There's a lot of titles you'd like to have, but for the friendship he has with Jack Nicklaus, this is about as special as it gets.
Determined to win at the house that Jack built, Cantlay found himself 4 off the lead through 3 rounds in 2019.
He kind of needled me at the beginning of the week, telling me that I needed to learn how to finish out golf tournaments and play better those last 9 holes. He said that the way he tried to handle it was to enjoy the moment and really relish the opportunity, and so I definitely tried to channel that a little bit that week.
I said, Patrick, your mouth won't crack if you smile. And, I said, enjoy yourself. He says, you know what to do and how to play. enjoy it. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, you're never going to do it well. That's the first smile I think I've ever seen on his face. I like that.
I had a good mindset. I kept giving myself positive thoughts, and I was able to do that all day. Making that putt on the last hole in front of Jack, I can't tell you how good it feels.
You did it.
I finished.
Give it a while ago.
Thanks for everything.
Oh, tears in my eyes. You should too, I think.
Yeah, that means a lot. Thanks, Jack.
All the stuff that Jack has passed on to me through the years, me kind of asking him for advice here and there, it was a special week.
I don't force myself on anybody. If they want to ask me, and I think that I might be able to help them, and I'm delighted to help any of the young kids.
In the 3 years since receiving his mentor's advice, Cantlay has closed out 5 more victories and a FedEx Cup title.
The idea of relishing being in that moment, it's exactly why you play, and it's true. Enjoying those moments and living for those moments, I think, helps you play better when the chips are down.
I feel very flattered that some of the young kids want to come and ask me some questions. I've been around the game a long time. I obviously have a lot of knowledge.
Anytime you're able to talk to someone that great and someone so impactful in our game, you just want to listen.
Collin Morikawa drew inspiration from Nicklaus's words long before hearing them in person.
Success depends almost entirely on how effectively you learn to manage the game's 2 ultimate adversaries, the course and yourself.
Looking back when I was 18 and you put that quote in your senior year yearbook, you know, you want to simplify life. I can definitely see that quote and how it is true.
That's a good quote, and I'm credited with it?
You are credited.
That's not a bad one. I like that one.
You only have control of what your body does, right? Even after you hit a shot, you can't control the wind, you can't control how the ball is going to bounce, you can't control any of that. You know, all you can do is think about what you need to do to produce a good shot.
He thought about it. He said, well, this makes good common sense, which it does. If that's the way to guide somebody, I'm pleased and very flattered by that.
Though Morikawa has fond memories of Muirfield Village, Friday was not one of them as he misses the cut with a 5-over 77. Playing competitor Patrick Cantlay stays within reach of a repeat with a 3-under 69.
Throw Billy Horschel's hat into the mix come the weekend.
Billy Horschel cards the round of the day with an error-free 4-under 68.
It was a really good round of golf. Having control of the iron play like I did today is crucial for me to make birdies and hopefully come Sunday on the back nine have a chance to win the tournament.
Horschel's afternoon surge places him in a tie for 4th alongside Cameron Young at 6-under, 1 stroke behind K.H. Lee. 3 weeks removed from his victory at the AT&T Byron Nelson, the Korean enters the weekend behind 1 man.
Cameron Smith, who had never broken 70 prior to coming here, has just shot 67-69. And that leads this year's Memorial Tournament.
My game's in a really good spot. I'm just happy with the way I stuck in there. Really happy with where my short game's at. I feel like I'm rolling the ball really good.
Will Zalatoris slips down the leaderboard with a 1-over round 2 as they all trail the Aussie in search of his 3rd win of the season.
The crowd loving the sensation of Justin Rose.
Pure perseverance and dedication.
Steve Stricker is the 2011 Memorial Champion.
Straight up. Look at this shot. Might go in. Might go in. It is in. That was incredible.
Beautiful pace.
There you go! And a little victory dance for Duffner. Matt Kucher at the 18th.
Among the great list of names to earn a handshake from Jack over the past decade is Matt Kucher, who reflected on the moment on Wednesday.
You know Mr. Nicklaus is there. You know that his eyeballs are on you, and you certainly want to hit a good shot to be on the green, but your job's not done once you get on the green. you want to close in some good fashion. So it definitely feels like some extra pressure because you certainly want to live up to his expectations.
All right, now here we go. 2 putts to win it.
I knew it was a very, very fast breaking putt. So looking to try to get it just cozied up to the hole for a tap in. Had one with good speed, good line, and it trickled in the cup at the end.
He only needs one!
I was just so excited. I look over and I got to see my kids standing next to Jack and Barbara, and the little Carson jumped up and gave Jack a high five.
Kucher will get the chance to meet up with a man he idolizes, Jack Nicklaus.
Hey, pal. A real honor to win this tournament. Fantastic. I'm so excited.
The great kind of finale that is going over and getting to shake Mr. Nicklaus's hand at the end is just a real treat to be able to do that as champion of his tournament.
It's moving day at Muirfield Village.
When you get to a place like this, it feels like a major championship.
And Jack Nicklaus's masterpiece proves a tough challenge for the morning wave. Jon Rahm starts strong, opening with back-to-back birdies. Also stuck in neutral, Rory McIlroy grinds to a 73 of his own, finishing in a tie for 15th. But Billy Horschel maintains his Friday momentum.
Oh, nice.
Billy!
What a bonus.
The 2014 FedEx Cup champion cards 4 birdies on the front side.
That's the outright lead, 10 under.
And makes the turn atop the leaderboard. After sleeping on the lead, Cam Smith comes back to the field, dropping 2 shots in his first 2 holes. After an up and down front 9, Smith claws his way back up the leaderboard.
Cam Smith, wonderful up and down for birdie.
There was lots of not so good stuff out there today and just stuck in there. Managed to have a couple of birdies on that back 9.
What a birdie.
A lot of fight back in this guy.
With birdies at 11 and 14, the Aussie ends his day with an even par 72.
That's the lob of the year, that one.
It was nice to get away with level par and keep myself in the tournament, especially today. It could have got away from me a little bit. Just really need to go out there, hit it better, and really commit to what I'm doing.
Here's Wise with a chance to get to 8 under par. Wonderful, too.
Joining Smith in a tie for second, Aaron Wise cards 4 birdies to just 1 bogey for a 3 under par 69.
Somehow I was able to putt really well and chip really well and shoot 3 under, but I would love to be able to put the ball in the fairway and get a few more looks at birdie tomorrow.
The 25-year-old will have to chase down 6-time PGA Tour champion Billy Horschel.
So the 35-year-old Florida Gator, Billy Horschel, leads the way here. What a start, 5 under through 11.
Whose stellar round continues with 3 more birdies down the stretch.
What a round. 7 under now for the day.
One of those days in the zone.
With firmer greens, you have to be really precise on where you're trying to land the golf shot. You know, the trajectory you're trying to hit, the shape you're trying to hit it. So we've just been very clear on all of that.
Posting the round of the week, Horschel closes with a bogey-free 65 and a 5-stroke lead heading into Championship Sunday.
I'm going to play the way I have the last 3 days. I mean, I've been doing this for 13 years now out here. We're going to hit the golf shots that are required, and if we do that, then I know it's going to give me the best chance to be victorious.
Patrick Cantlay, Denny McCarthy, and Davis Riley are among those in the large chase pack who finished the day in a tie for 7th at 6 under par.
Low round of this tournament belongs to Billy Horschel, who has the big 5-shot lead going into Sunday.
He will be tough to beat, but Cam Smith is not afraid to make 10 birdies on a final round.
A big one. The Memorial Tournament presented by Workday.
Large galleries gather round for the leader through 54 holes, Billy Horschel by 5.
Really a great round of golf. Very happy with the way Fuch and I played the day.
Oh, it's beautifully paced.
What a pace.
Could it be an eagle? Good night!
never got too flustered, never worried too much, just went out there and tried to play a solid round of golf.
Billy Horschel at his best, the winner at the Memorial Tournament presented by Workday.
Thanks, buddy. I try to play around like you and Tiger would, just manage the game, put in the middle of the green, 2-putt, do nothing special.
You hit the best greens in regulation. If you weren't best in putting too, I would be very surprised.
Thank you.
I'll tell you one thing, every time, it was just in the air, and every time you had a chance to let him in, you hold him on the putt.
Yeah, just like you would. Just like you would, big man. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful to watch. It's a 4-shot win. His 7th career victory.
It's sort of a running joke in our family. My wife and my kids have never been at a victory, and my wife's never wanted to fly in on a Saturday night when I've had a chance to win. I've just always wanted that one moment where my family runs out, the kids run out, that I can always look back for many years to come.